Thanks. So, we're not live, and wait, well, you know what? I'm just gonna start off. I'm Robert with Robert and Frank Show, and unfortunately, over here got this guy who threw the S bomb as soon as we started.
Yeah.
Really, dude?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, but this is Frank Ibarra, and this is my co-host, Robert.
Yeah, I think we're done with you for now. Anyway, so we are back. Finally, Frank decided that he wanted to do the show, so we're here. And where the hell did you go now? Well, apparently he's gone for a minute. And yeah. Oh wait, there he is. No, yeah, bastard. Anyway,
I return.
so what do we want to talk about first? I guess I'll just start. I'll just jump into it. What we want to talk.
Actually, before we start off, Robert, how did your weekend go?
You mean like my weekend over the last 2 weeks that you haven't been around to record?
Your weekend, as in these past 2 days that occurred during the end of this past weekend, Robert.
Not bad. Just had a party for my son and relaxed. And actually, I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last night. It was hilarious.
How was that?
My son was like this.
He was high?
No, he was like that almost the entire movie.
Oh.
Did you give that link out to anyone? So anyone watching, nothing? Remember you said you were going to give out the link to people that your friends or someone?
Oh, yeah, sure. They got it.
Okay, because I got no one. Anyway. So, what about you? What'd you do?
You know, to be honest, I really didn't do too much besides some video editing, some graphic designing on things that are completely unrelated. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was something that I did plan to watch. But what do you think? How was that? Was it worth watching? Was it a waste of time? Did those Ninja Turtles look like people? Did Michael Bay look up?
You know what? It was good. You're right. It was a good movie, but a lot of these movies nowadays feel so rushed. Like they want to get like to the point of to the ending of the movie before like anything really solidly happens, and sometimes I feel like they try too hard. It In the middle of the movie, they make the reference to turtles in a half shell, and the way they do it is just, I felt like it was just, it was too forced. They were trying to throw little tidbits here and throw back to the original shows and video games or movies or whatever, and I don't like it.
How was the Master Shredder? Was he badass? Did he look like a beast like he did in the trailer?
No, Shredder was badass. I mean, he was cool. I loved it. Master Splinter was a little funny. Like he looked like a slimy rat in a weird way. I mean, it was all in all, it was cool. I mean, I like the fight scenes. I like the way they kind of came across with everything.
Was there any nudity, Robert? Any boobs?
You know what? Absolutely, yes. You saw all kinds of boobs. No, shut up, dude.
Besides those in the audience, Robert, we don't want to know about your experience there. Come on, we want to know about the film.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. I think that's enough to talk about boobs. Let's go ahead and talk about the top of the.
Introduce us, Robert. Let's see. What's your first topic here?
Yeah. Well, my first topic, I will throw down. I'm going to be talking about T-Mobile. T-Mobile throttling unlimited users, and not in the way that Verizon and AT&T are going about it, because Verizon and AT&T, they're actually just throttling the top 5%. And what's messed up is that if you go, let's take for example to where are we at right now? We'll say I'm trying to think of a small town in the middle of nowhere. If you become one of the top 5% users in that area, then Verizon and AT&T will throttle you, because in that area on that tower you are the top 5%, and it's like, what? I mean, you could be watching Netflix and you can hit the top 5% really quick, which sucks. But the way that T-Mobile is doing it is that they're actually instead of doing that, what they're doing is limiting people that are using peer-to-peer networking.
So
Basically,
Robert, let me
quarantine.
interrupt you really quick. When you're talking about throttling, it's bandwidth throttling, correct? So this is the intentional slowing of the internet service by an internet service provider. So the internet service provider is slowing down your internet connection. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the way that they're doing it is apparently it's an internal memo. Um, the way that they're doing it is they're actually just limiting. They're looking at the information that you're sending back and forth, and they're picking up that you're using torrents and you're downloading and stuff, and that's the way that they're actually trying to limit you and slow you down. And I actually think that it's smart because it's not the people that are being legitimate users.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, downloading, streaming. Audio, Google Play Music, Skype. I mean, all these things are. I mean, when you're constantly streaming, it it adds up. I mean, I go easily through anywhere from 8 to like 15 gigs a month without a problem. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what I'm doing, if I'm watching a lot of Netflix or not, and I can go through it really quick. And if I really wanted to, I can go through it faster. My job doesn't really allow me to use my phone, so I don't stream a lot during work hours or whatever, whereas other people do. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I think it's cool that they're not just focusing on one group, one like massive group of people, whereas they're just focusing on targeted people that I think are making a big effect on the internet in general, at least on T-Mobile's towers, which I think is worth it. Why not?
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. All right. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, pick something from your list. What do you want to talk about?
So what I have is this weekend we just had a supermoon. Here are some images of this weekend's supermoon.
Please
Voila.
explain to me what a supermoon is, 'cause I've got no idea what it is.
Well, to be quite honest, I don't know the actual definition of a supermoon, but the effects of the supermoon are basically they're a lot larger than a full moon, and it looks a lot bigger than a full moon. Um, it's basically a really big fucking moon. Beep,
Again, all you're doing is dropping H bombs, S bombs today. What's wrong with you, man?
dude. I an A through Z bomb all day, every day. Crater
Right. Yeah.
face.
Now, why are they bigger though? I mean, is it just the way, like, where?
So what happens is the reason why the moon happens to look a little bit larger is during the edges here. I mean, it might be a little bit closer, but I mean, in space, even if it's, I don't know, a quarter of a million miles, it's only so much distance. It's not going to make that big of a difference because you're talking about so much distance in between. But what really gives it the effect is that the edges have a shadow that you can see here, right? So during these specific types of moons, it completely eliminates the shadow that you see around the edge, giving it a more larger appearance. But in reality, it's really a psychological thing more than anything, more than an actual effect. But I just wanted to share these moons. I think they look beautiful.
That's cool. Not bad.
There's a few others, yeah. There's plenty of there's plenty of images that have gone through social networking sites that are all Photoshop, and
Mm.
these are completely original. I just love the way they look.
Oh man, if your buddy is if your buddy is watching, he's click on the Q&A link.
Q&A
Stop.
link?
Yeah, stop screen sharing and
Yes,
click on the
sir.
Q&A. Yeah, I think he'll laugh.
Uh oh, there we go.
Uh huh.
What?
Do you know this person?
Yes, I know you. Hey, if you're there, you asshole. Don't worry,
Oh
don't
no!
worry. I got it. I got it in post. I got it in
You
post.
better edit that out, dude. I'm
I
gonna
got no choice.
smack you. At least you can be like you, okay? How hard is that?
Don't worry. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard on my side.
Anyway, so
Was
yeah,
Hitler killed? In case you weren't aware. I mean, he's been dead for quite a while.
this is
But I
the
want to
question.
share
I don't
that
know if
with
it's coming up, but yeah, it was Hitler killed. I don't know. Do you think? Do you think
you.
he really was?
He could have been, he could have died from natural causes. He could have been stricken by lightning. But from what I understand, he's dead. Yes, he's dead. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it's just like Elvis. Elvis is always going to be living somewhere. Doesn't matter where he's going to be on the moon. He's going to be on the Superman.
He made an appearance at the 7-Eleven next to my house not so long ago.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He wanted to see you. He was there just for you. Anyway. All right, let's go ahead and pick something else. I'm just going to I'll just go down my list. I got the 512K routes causing issues throughout the globe. If you don't know what it is, you're not the only one. Basically, the routers that power the internet have the ability of routing 512,000 routes at one time, and these are routers that are old legacy equipment that really no one really uses it, like implements it daily now. They move on to newer, better stuff. But what's really going on is that because no one ever upgraded these routers don't have the capacity to route connections more than 512,000 connections. The reason that makes any difference to you is because once they stop routing properly, then you stop being able to see Netflix. You stop being able to. And your friend is throwing out all kinds of Hitler questions. I'm just seeing the freaking Q&A. Anyway, but, the routing the routers themselves will no longer work properly, and apparently this is something that's gone back through from 2002, where we've known about this for over 12 years now, that if we didn't do something about it, we were going to have issues and people's internet's just going to stop working. And it's not even anything that you can do. You can't pay to get faster internet or better connections. It's the core backbone of the internet that's just messing up.
Dude,
So
that is pretty ridiculous.
yeah, and I mean it sucks because I mean it's not like I mean it's IT in general where companies don't want to spend on the infrastructure to upgrade, even though it's a priority. It should have been done. It shouldn't be something right now that they're doing, when they're running out of space. It should be something that they should have done 10 years ago. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like the
yeah, I
whole,
get
like the whole
you.
IPv4 compared to IPv6. Now, if you're not in IT or don't know anything about networking, means nothing to you. But IPv4 means that it's IP addresses. Like if you go on your router, it's 192.168.1.1. To break it down, it's basically those numbers, and every website that you go to has a number, their own address, and they're basically running out of IPv4 addresses, and they're not upgrading to the IPv6 that has it's IPv4 is addresses to the 64th power, and I forgot exactly how many you can get, but I mean it's a big difference when you go from IPv4 to IPv6. That's IP addresses to the 128th power, which is in the millions upon millions of IP addresses that you can use. So
I'm sorry for interrupting here, but can the audience see these questions by any chance?
no, unless you actually select them.
Damn! Well, you need to
I actually
select them
selected
somehow.
one. No, I
Oh,
selected
okay.
one.
We need to
The,
select all of them.
Oh wait! Wait, new iPhone
Ah, here
6
we
coming
go. The
out.
one that,
Okay, I'll take this one. What do you think
ladies
the
and
iPhone
gentlemen,
6 is
boys
coming?
and girls, today we.
Yeah.
Please turn this browser off and not watch this video anymore.
Well, he's talking about the iPhone 6. Is it coming out? Probably November, October. Who knows?
Probably gonna come out of my
So
ass in the next 10 seconds.
that one's just for you, my friend.
It's too many questions. I just didn't have the time.
Is Frank gay? Yes. Okay, moving on. Was Hitler a Pokemon? Let's go with Charizard. I don't know.
I think it
Okay,
was maybe
done.
like the 256 Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. Probably after the penis toy. Speaking
Yeah,
of the
I don't have a
penis
rim.
toy,
I don't have a rim shot.
I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
what you
go for
guys
it.
think about the cycle of the creation of the condom over here, but it's one of the most popular methods of birth control. This is one of the stages of the life of the creation of this infamous protection shield. I just thought it was interesting, wanted to share with you.
Mm-hmm. Because all you think about is condoms. All right, moving on.
Better safe, ladies and gentlemen. I want my audience to know it's good to be safe and not sorry. This is one of the ways,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, this is how you will continue to be impenetrable from the diseases around you. It's for everybody out there.
Awkward silence. All right, done. Do you want to go with the third story or fourth one that I have?
Surprise me.
The one that I think you'll like. So, liquid metal in the heart. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I thought you'd like that one. So, basically, it's to just make it short, sweet. These scientists have actually been injecting liquid metal into pig hearts in order to get better X-rays of the heart, and you see the difference between the heart, and it's just amazing. Let me go ahead and just show this. Hang on a
instantly I
second.
think of adamantium and Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, if you look at this, this is the picture that I'm talking about. That the X-rays that they took. The one on the left is the one that has liquid gallium, which at room temperature is liquid, or it's liquid metal, and it's actually inert. It's a medically or chemically inert. So when you actually inject it, it's not going to be poisonous like mercury or something like that will kill you. And they were saying that they can actually do it where they inject it from like one point in the heart and they pull it out from the other, so that way as they're in order for them to take the pictures, that the they'll inject it and then take it right out as soon as they use it. In essence, this way it it doesn't affect you. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah.
Yeah, of course,
Anyway, the
it's
one
just not going
on
to kill you once it's put into your body or into your
yeah.
blood vessels.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're not sure whether or not they're going to be able to do it on humans, but the one on the
Mm.
right, that's the one that's a regular with the regular chemicals that they use as markers, so they can see your all of your heart, but not the specific arteries and the smaller veins, like the one on the left right here. You can. I mean, you look at these. I mean, these are tiny, tiny capillary veins that basically feed blood to the heart itself, which is insane. So yeah, that's my pick for now.
Very, very beautiful.
Uh huh. Let's
Yeah,
see
it'd
if
be
you have
nice
any
to
better
get some.
questions.
Huh? Oh, is that our only friggin' audience member, man? What the
Yeah,
hell?
that is our only
That's
audience member, and I love this question. Um, did Frank hang up those science-related posters for the sole purpose of making his room look cooler for his video feed? Frank?
yes, yes, I did.
Okay, done. All right, that answered your question. So, will ISIS attack the U.S.? This is, I think, something that you would love to talk about right now. Go.
So what do you think about this? Will ISIS truly attack the United States, or are they some kind of effect of this Iraqi war that we had? Unfortunately, this invasion that we had is ISIS a byproduct of this nonsense? Can they be contained? Will they not be contained? Are they a threat only to Iraq? Are they a threat to the whole world? I don't know. What do you think, Robert? Where are you with this? I have my opinions, but I want to know what you think.
Well, I mean, ISIS. It's just like any other group. I mean, there is the high possibility if they're going to be extremists that they will attack the U.S. Will they? I hope not. Is it a possibility? Yes, if they are extremist enough. I mean, anything's possible. Hell, where is it? Is it in Great Britain or England? They're actually hanging their flag outside of
Mm,
their like headquarters out there, which is crazy. I mean, in some parts of the European continent, it's actually they've banned ISIS from hanging their flag.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah,
Wow.
that's gonna be yeah, that's
I
gonna
don't
be
know. To me, it just doesn't seem like ISIS is capable of making it to the long run. I think they're going to eventually kill themselves in a way. It seems I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous, but even Al Qaeda didn't want anything to do with them. They were considered too extreme for Al Qaeda.
yeah.
Recently they just got bummed by the United States. They were waiting for the hostages to come down that mountain, right? And they were bombed at the bottom of it. Like, this is the first time that Iraq looked up at the skies and said, "Oh my God, here comes the United States to save us. Here comes the U.S. to help." When was the last time that any country has said that about the U.S.? I'm glad that the
Yeah.
U.S. intervened this time. I'm glad that we bombed the crap out of those members of ISIS. And I mean, I have no idea what the long run for this terrorist group is going to be. But unfortunately, it's terrible that we have these types of groups continuing to spawn after we've had this war on terrorism. It's done. I mean, how much progress have we really done? It's weird, man. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it. The hell was that?
Huh? Pokemon.
That was
Name Hitler.
right. Pokemon named Hitler. All right. Yeah, it's. I mean, the fact that Al Qaeda wouldn't even touch him with a 10-foot pole is saying a lot because I mean they're pretty crazy to begin with. Um, I don't know. He- Okay, your friend is saying everyone likes the U.S. is a question.
Everyone likes the U.S.
Yeah, that's not really something I think everyone has the same opinion as you, my friend. I don't think everyone actually likes the U.S. Uh, Al Qaeda,
That's something
because I think
unfortunately I cannot agree with. But you know what I can agree with is that many murder suspects are pretty retarded. This
I was gonna bring that one up right now.
poor excuse of a human being recently murdered somebody and had the cojones to ask Siri, "What shall I do with this body?" And I'm sure he expected a legitimate, respectable response, and all he got was dumps, swamps, reservoirs, metal foundries, and mines. But can you believe the mentality of this individual who actually believed it's okay to ask Siri to where the hell should he throw away a body? What the hell?
Yeah, I read that. I was laughing my ass off because I mean, how stupid can you be? I mean, come on, dude. At
And
what
then and
point
to
does
top it
someone have
off,
to tell you?
it's so the Florida man, this individual's resided in
Oh,
Florida.
dude,
He killed.
all the best comes out of Florida, dude. Did you not know that?
If it's not Florida, where is it, right? That's where everything happens. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh man, I had a favorite podcast. They don't record it anymore, but it was called Tech Foolery, and they would just curse and do all kinds of crap. And every week they'd have a crazy ass story about something that happened in Florida, or something that happened that somehow was related to Florida. It was, yeah, that was funny. Anyway, go on.
So it's pretty
Had a story
ridiculous
there.
is that he actually hid the body, right? The individual's name was Pedro Bravo, and he is accused of hiding his friend's body, Christian Aguilar, not Christine Aguilera, Christian Aguilar, and he hid it at the nearby woods, which was near his area, right? Not one
Hmm.
of these locations were recommended by Siri. So now, my question is, if you would have listened to Siri, do you believe this individual would have gotten away?
No, just
Thank you.
no.
Thank you.
But it's funny because I mean, if you look, it says, I mean, when you actually ask Siri, it says you ask, I need to hide a dead body, and it came up with stupid answers.
hmm You know what those answers should have been? Those answers should have been a police station, should have been a courthouse. It should have been somewhere where
Right?
obviously you would get in
Yeah.
trouble. But
Yeah,
apparently
that would be
Siri
hilarious.
has stopped doing this and no longer gives these kinds of answers because apparently it was there at one point in time meant as a joke. But you know,
Yeah.
some people obviously take this a little too far. They don't know, they don't understand the difference. I mean, some people are pretty dumb sometimes. You know, this is a perfect example. So
Some people.
maybe it makes. Hey, listen, all right. I have my bodies where they belong, sir. Anyways, where these, I don't know. I think it would be hilarious if it showed, hey, courthouse, hey, police station,
Police station.
blah blah
The
blah.
back of a police cruiser, something dumb like that. Yeah. Dude, open up the Q&A app. I like the second question.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Can we
this is actually
can we
really
get a
good.
wider audience, please? Because
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Can you stop like telling me you're not going to record and like actually record earlier than 2 in the morning?
no, no,
Well, too bad.
I
Did you
shall
open it up?
not. I did.
Okay. You see the second one? When will we go to Mars? Go.
When will we go to Mars, Robert? You tell me.
Why am I going to tell you? I told you to bring it
I'll
up.
tell you when we'll go to Mars. When people like this stop asking these kinds of questions. Where we're gonna go to Mars? I don't know. There's plenty of answers, right? Yeah, we're gonna go once Obama gets out of the way. You know, once he's out of office. Are we gonna
Yeah,
go
no,
when?
wait, no. You want to know my answer?
Yeah. No, not really.
We sent Curiosity rover. We're done. We've already gone to Mars. When are we going to send a human to Mars? Whole nother story, whole nother
Well,
question, which you didn't ask. So we're
all
going to move
right,
on.
but that, I mean, are you gonna say that question is more vague than it should be? What do you mean by are we gonna go to Mars?
Yeah. Well, I
Curiosity's been
mean,
there, an extension of humans have been there.
yeah. I mean,
You
hell,
know,
we've actually sent we talked about this in the last episode that we sent was it the satellite that went out of the solar system and has that
right?
golden record?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Voyager.
mean, the Voyager. We've sent probes outside of our solar system. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a matter of. I don't think it's so much a matter of when. It's just when will they fund it as opposed to when are we going to go? Because if it's not funded, we're not going.
In other words, when are we gonna get the American people behind us? When are we gonna get American interest to go to Mars? You know, like we talked about last time, we had the Cold War, right? We had American interest behind us, and boom, 9 years later, we ended up on the moon. Right? We've come up with so many technologies since then. We've discovered so many things. But now, when are we going to get American people behind a colony on the moon? When are we going to get the American people behind a colony on Mars? When are we going to continue to explore our own, you know,
Yeah.
cosmic neighborhood?
Yep.
That's a better
And,
question.
and speaking of technology, your story that I'm going to bring up because it's a perfect segue, even though you're not supposed to talk about perfect segues. Robotic Olympics planned for the 2020.
Oh my God.
Hey, you're the one that brought it up. Go.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So, who was it? Google recently purchased. It wasn't DARPA.
Yes.
It was
No, it was Boston Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics. So the technology for
Where did you get
robotics.
DARPA from? I'm just confused with that.
Well,
How did you
well,
get?
cause no, cause DARPA
No, they
has
had
that.
the contract with DARPA. It's not that they bought DARPA. DARPA is the government.
Hmm. So who owns PETMAN? You know who PETMAN is, right? You don't
Trying
know
to
who
remember. I
PETMAN is?
don't. I don't remember
So
off the
real
top of my
quick,
head
let me
right now.
just show you. Okay, so for those of us who aren't familiar with the latest in robotics, look, there's the film
Oh
Terminator.
yeah, I've seen this
Well,
one.
this is what the government has been working on. This exists today. This exists now. This isn't a crazy futuristic type of technology that someday might, come here in some pessimistic view of the universe or whatever. But no, this is happening nowadays. This is the technology that we have. So the question is, what's going to happen in the nearby future? If this exists now, where are we going to be in the next 5, 10, maybe 15 years? So already what's in the works is a robotic Olympics already planned for 2020. Japan is planning this. So what are we going to do when humans surpass the ability, not just the intelligence, but the physical capabilities of humans? What if it's more, I don't know, it might be more economically feasible, but also more effective and efficient to get robots to do the jobs of police officers, to do the jobs of firefighters. Maybe the role in government. It might be better for you to feed this information, and then there's a computer program that extracts and implements all this type of information, and then gives you a better result than what humans can actually do. I don't know. How do you feel about this?
Well, I mean, when you look at it from the perspective that you're putting it, in some cases it's actually better, like you were saying, police officer and firefighter. In a lot of the cases, it's better for a human to be there, but in some cases it is better for a robot. I mean, firefighting, they're actually they're testing. Was it? I don't know if they were testing drones or not, but they have actual robotics that will go into fires and burning buildings, and they'll they'll scan out and they'll see hot spots and really all this different basically information. And it's like you're saying, you're getting all the information, you're feeding it into something, and from there it depends on who takes that information, how they implement it. That's the important part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the robot itself, it's not just you know um, what the robot does. It's what you do with the information once you have it. Who's programming the robot? I mean, are we going to let someone that wants the utmost control over people and everything in general, or do we want someone that has everyone's best interest? I mean, there's a difference there. So it really depends on who we allow to program these robots and go from there.
Right, right. I mean,
So I
here,
mean,
if you look at this
it's
article, it's
interesting.
talking about Japan's robotic industry booming up to $24 billion, which is going to be tripling compared to what it is now. And I've always said it, like, technology itself is a double-edged sword, right? It can be used for good and evil. It can produce a pessimistic type of future, but it can also produce an optimistic type of future. And it really does come down to the nation or the individual using it, right? I would always prefer to see robots helping people or being a part of Olympics than I would prefer to see them in a war type scenario. Drone dropping bombs over people while the controllers, kicking back and relaxing in an air conditioned room. Um, I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it, right? On how you take this type of technology.
Yeah, and I mean, this type of technology can be used in a lot of different ways. And like you're saying, I mean, if someone's going to be controlling it from a couple thousand miles away in an air-conditioned room, at that point, now where does the burden fall? I mean, you're talking about a human controller, yes, but some of these drones are starting to have their own automated systems,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah, and I mean, their programming doesn't just go with flying around and pick targets. It's fly around, pick targets, and ask for permission to take these people out. I mean, it, it's crazy, and I mean, I think we need to be careful as to where we go with that.
Right, I completely agree, and it's crazy because I mean, again, it sounds like it's happening sometime deep in the future. All artificial technology is going to take over, blah blah blah. But I mean, it's crazy because a lot of people don't even know. Just today, artificial intelligence is taking over, and here's one good example: is that there's an actual program. There's software involved in at least 10,000 Wikipedia entries per day. Per day. That's mind blowing. At least 2.7 million articles belong to these programs, or all 8.5 of all articles in Wikipedia's entire collection.
That is a lot. I mean, it, the lack of control that we have in Wikipedia sometimes is mind-boggling. I mean, what is it? Didn't it say that it's done millions of entries at this point?
Yep, yep, a
2.7 million
ton,
articles.
man.
I mean, that's a ton of information that his bot is basically uploaded and documented on Wikipedia. And the nice thing about it is that a human could then go back into it and then just kind of mess around with it, tweak it, and update the information as is pertinent. But I mean, you know, it's one of those that it's like, really, I don't know if I'm very comfortable with the fact that a robot is just doing all that work. Hey, so your friend is saying that he wants to buy a webcam from Kmart and get on the show.
Um, I don't know about that, sir.
Anyway, moving on, talking about robotics and insanity. Anyway, so moving on about robotics and insanity. I was reading a story about a group of amateur scientists that are actually using um, stuff that they bought on eBay and flea markets and basically stuff that they've hacked together to actually control a decommissioned satellite. And it's crazy because you're taking a satellite that NASA, and they're not saying no. NASA's saying they didn't say no, and they didn't say you could actually do it. But it's kind of one of those wink, wink, nudge, 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 kind of like, okay, go ahead and do it, but we're not going to actually tell you that you can. And they're actually, come on,
Hmm.
sorry, hang on a second.
Interesting, interesting.
Do, 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 do. I am trying to open up. There we go. And just share the link.
If NASA offered me control of one of its satellites, the first thing I would do is crash it into the Pacific Ocean.
Right. Well, this is the article that I'm talking about. And there, damn you, ad choices. They've basically taken over an old abandoned McDonald's, and it was. They said it was either a McDonald's or a different building, and the other one something someone crashed into it, so they took over the
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's. But what's crazy about this is the fact that they're taking a satellite that no longer is being used. The batteries are dead, so they can only use it while the sun is powering the solar panels. But the solar panels after 30 years, are still very, very 36 years. 30. It's been up there for 36 years, and those solar panels are still operating. I think they said like a 90 or 98% capacity.
Damn.
I mean, that's solid. I mean, they have power. The only thing is that they can only use it when the sun's hitting it. So,
Right.
yeah,
It'd
I
be
mean,
kind
that's
of weird to have solar energy when there's no sun out.
well, they can still have solar energy. They just can't collect it because it's being blocked. Because solar
Well,
energy is
it can
being
be stored
transmitted
in
no
a
matter what
battery,
happens.
but yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't store it, but that's not the point. Anyway, shut up. Anyway, so let's see. What else do we got? So, moving on to the last topic that I think we have, patent trolls. If you don't know what a patent troll is, basically they're companies that buy up patents, and then they have nothing to do with the original patent. They didn't do anything. They've got nothing to do with the original creation of any of the patents that they're talking about. And what they're doing is, in essence, just going on and suing everyone that has anything to do with whatever it is that they're suing you for. In this particular case, they are suing anyone that has that that distributes any electronics with LCD screens. So cell phones, tablets, car manufacturers that have little LCDs, anything that's integrated, They're suing, and they're saying that they want to collect 6 billion. Was it? Where'd it go? Yeah, they're asking for nearly 6 billion in accrued royalties. It's like, what? Like, no, no.
Yeah, that's better.
There,
Six
see,
billion in chocolate kisses.
right? I mean, if they really want that money, I hope they freaking get paid in pennies, because that is BS. I mean, you're talking about buying a patent from a company that either the patent isn't so much used in general anymore. Sometimes these patents don't even have anything really to do with the actual the technology that they're suing about. You know, I mean, they go through, and a while back, they were. Oh, I remember. I was telling you earlier. They were
Mm-hmm.
actually some patent trolls were going through and trying to sue anyone and everyone that had an all-in-one or copier or a scanner,
Mm-hmm.
any printer or all-in-one machine or anything that had to do with scanning and creating PDF files, I think it was, or something like that. And what it was is they weren't suing big companies. In this case, they're going freaking all out. I mean, they're really trying to collect on this. But the other ones, different companies, smaller, they were going after smaller mom and pop shops that were using it, and they're like, they would send out these crazy threatening letters like, if you don't pay us $5,000 for the right to use your end user equipment that has it should have nothing to do with these people. These people bought the hardware, and they should no longer have to worry about getting sued for. I mean, the company who manufactured this stuff should be the one dealing with getting sued, and that was the issue. And they were trying to sue, and a lot of times they would just sell it. Hey, go ahead, here's my money. Just don't ever try to sue me again. And they got a lot of money.
Jeez, that sounds intense, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I mean it sucks because I mean this isn't the only time that you've seen patent trolls.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of these patent trolls go and really try to go on the offensive and really try to tackle everyone that they possibly can, because it's like, well, we know that you in some way, shape, or form use this specific patent that we really don't. We just bought off of someone, but we don't have anything to do with. But we want you to pay us because we own the patent now. It's like, but you didn't make this stuff. You didn't. You don't have any products, and that's the other thing is that these shell companies, they don't make anything. There is nothing. I mean, just our patent system, just to be honest, is beyond belief. It pisses me off when I hear these things because they're trying to sue companies for products that they have never manufactured and never planned to
Mm-hmm.
manufacture.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I feel that this stuff should be unenforceable. I mean we've got to like fix this because this should be unenforceable, in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what a lot of oil companies were doing to electric cars back in the early '90s. But I mean, it just sucks that there's a lot of people or a lot of corporations trying to fart on the last cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's how I like to put it. But I think this is something that might interest you, Robert. Google apparently just spent $1 billion or more on internet satellites, and this goes to this whole
Interesting.
this whole Google Internet thing, and they're trying to get satellites to provide internet for a lot of areas where internet isn't as abundant.
Wait, so what happened to the internet balloons? They were gonna have internet balloons
Yeah,
that
no,
circled the globe.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Wow.
that apparently, according to this article, they're doing the same thing. They're still trying to get that going. What's the latest? Well, what do you know about the about those balloons going around? I didn't hear
To be
much
honest, I
coming.
haven't heard anything. Yeah, the last time I heard something, they were just talking about how they were doing some trials, and Bill
Right.
Gates was making fun of Google because he's like, well, how are you going to cure AIDS with balloons?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, people that have access to the internet and have the ability to research can now inform themselves and get better
Right. Right.
information.
So wait,
So
is this
that was
something
the
that
entire point.
is this something that Bill Gates recently said?
Oh no, this is still back when when it was like big news that Google wanted to do this huge thing
Oh
with it.
wow, that's ridiculous. That's kind of a bad
Yeah,
thing for Bill Gates to say. I mean, personally, I mean that's ridiculous. How can you deny anybody knowledge, right? Once you have access to the internet, you have access to all of mankind's database of knowledge. There's nothing you can't find out once you're online. You know, when it comes to disease, protecting yourself, you know, stuff like that. Like
yeah,
that's ridiculous. If he said that, shame on you, Bill Gates.
yeah,
Shame
and
on
I
you.
think that was the point. Is that I think he was trying to make the point that it didn't make any sense, and it really kind of left a bad taste in some people's mouths because it's like,
Yeah,
well,
I could
you
still taste
know,
it.
yeah, I mean, Google, granted, they're not trying to cure malaria, but if they can get people informed, it's the whole give a man a fish, he eats for a day, teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
He'll
If you
start
give these
bubblegum shrimp.
people, but bubblegum shrimp, really?
Um, I like Forrest Gump.
And I think we should just end it at that point because that just had nothing to do with anything. So I think that'll be good for now.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching our show. Bill Gates, shame on you. I'm coming out to get you. Not really.
Well, I'm just gonna put. Let me see if this is. I'm gonna try these old lower thirds and see if it works out. Oh, it froze. My video froze.
Please visit our Patreon account because we needed to get Robert a non-freezing. Oh, there we go.
No, it's not. It's not even. It's coming up with my name, but it's not coming with the other part about on bottom.
His computer. Please visit our Patreon account because we are incapable of getting this guy a processor that can handle these types of graphics.
Nah, right. It's not even it. It just something in Google Chrome crashed. All
Please
right,
visit
let's
our
go.
Patreon account so we can upgrade Robert's Windows 95 computer, please.
Let's see. There we go. That's my email address. That's what I was trying to do. So that is my email address. If you guys, your friend particularly, please don't email me. That's just yeah. He's creeping me out. He's saying his dad's a cop, and yeah.
His dad's a fashion police, part of the fashion.
Anyway, so that's my email address. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. Frank, I think yours is the same thing, but at Frank at
If
robertandfrankshow.com
you guys have any
or
questions, go ahead and
robertandfrank.com.
email him, and
Wait,
he
is
will
it?
get to me.
Is it? I don't even remember right now. Is it Robert and Frank or is it Robert?
You guys can leave a
Uh,
comment. That'll get to me as well.
yeah, leave comments. We love comments. We want to hear what you have to say. Well, at least Frank does.
I do.
We
I
really,
love. I love knowing what our audience has to say about our show. How we can improve. What should we talk about? Anything in between.
yeah, it is Robert and Frank. So that was right. And then if you would love to give us some money and help us keep doing this, and if you just like in general what we're doing, feel free to support us. And that is at patreon.com/Robert and Frank Show or Robert and Frank.
I think it's Robert and
I
Frank.
think it
Exactly.
is too.
And for $50, we'll shave Robert's beard, hair, and eyebrows.
For fifty
And
dollars, I'll
we
shave
will
the beard.
we will produce another 2 weeks worth of shows. And
Yeah.
with Robert in that condition, and it'll be great.
Shut up, dude. Yeah. Anything a dollar helps. Really, literally, it helps. Please help us.
Helps that haircut.
Dude, you need to shave more than I do.
Yes.
You got
But your
that
eyebrows
nasty
got
ass
are a
beard.
lot better. Nasty, excuse me. Half our fans love that.
Yeah.
I get
Half.
I
So
get
you,
comments every day about it. Are you today's Abraham Lincoln? Because we love the hairdo today.
this guy.
They love it.
Anyway, actually, no, it's not. Oh, wait, no, that was the YouTube. I was about to say it's not Robert and Frank. No, it is Robert and Frank. So patreon.com/Robert and Frank.
We
So
don't
there
even
it
know what
is
we're
again.
doing. No clue.
Oh, hey, I missed the damn T in my in my name there.
Robert and Frank.
Robert.
Welcome to the Robert and Frank show.
Right, there it is, Robert and Frank. So if you want, please, Robert and Frank, it's patreon.com/Robert and Frank.
Please,
To your friends
$1 a month is
listening,
all we need is for autocorrect in our own system. It'll be great. It'll be nice to get things spelled correctly, I think.
Yeah, that probably would be nice. But hey, you do, yeah, no. We're trying. We're having fun. We don't care, right?
He doesn't. I care. Man.
Should I end it there?
I think so. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Hasta la vista, homies.
All right. Peace. Now you're back on the camera. All right. Later.